Hello and welcome everybody to the Trial and Error podcast, but we call it The Tap. I am your host, Aaron, and with me today is Serena Beanblossom, the aforementioned witch that I met at the Renaissance Fair in, my God, what was that town called again? It was right next to Gilroy. Casa De Fruta, right next to Gilroy. My goodness. How are you today, Serena?
I'm good. How are you?
You good? It's a glorious, windy-ass day up here. Was it windy where you're from? Yeah. Miserable. I can do the heat, the cold, but for some reason the wind just toils my soul. It just goes through and just gets me all flustered, but made it through the day. Before we get into the witchcraft, because I have a million and one questions, and I've been talking to people, telling people, like, I'm interviewing a witch, which is like, I can now mark that off my bucket list. That's so cool to say. As a child of fantasy and nerdiness, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all that good stuff. It's just awesome. So, we met at the Northern California Renaissance Fair just towards the end of the day and just started shooting the shit. And Renaissance Fairs, I've only been to two, the one in Folsom and then one by Casa De Fruta. And both times I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I've ate, drank, was merry, have met people. Everybody's just being their authentic selves, having a good time, just being the complete utter nerds. How did you get involved in the Renaissance Fair life, and like how long have you been doing it?
I started working Renaissance Fairs when I was 14.
14?
Mm-hmm. Many years.
All the moons ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a volunteer my first year, and I've been doing it ever since.
Since you were 14, where was the first one at?
The first one that I was at was the Calaveras Celtic Fair.
The Celtic Fair? Mm-hmm. How is that one different from the one we went to? The one we went to is it seems standard, like, got all the vendors, the food, the jousting, like...
Very similar. A lot of the other fairs, Northern's one of the bigger ones. It's 6 weeks long.
Yeah.
Most other fairs are only 1 or 2 weekends.
Are you there all 6 weeks?
Small fairs. I drive down Friday night.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
From...
and drive home Sunday night.
Because you're from the Bay Area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how far of a drive is that? Is like hour and a half?
2 hours.
2 hours? So that's dedication.
Yeah.
You come down there. So you had a shop? Was it the crystal shop, or like you're hanging out?
Right now I'm a boothie. I work for Diva Dreads. I've been with her for 5 years now.
Mm-hmm. What does she do?
Ish. She makes hair balls.
Oh, cool. Is that what you're sporting?
This is my hair.
That's all. Oh, that all belongs to you.
Well, it's synthetic dreads, but
it's all good.
My everyday hair.
Mm-hmm. Colorful.
But I've done everything. I worked ale stand for years. I was security. I was a producer. I was a coordinator.
Oh, so you're not married to just that one booth. Like, are you part of like the committee? You just, hey, I'm volunteering. What do you need me to do?
No, not anymore. Now I'm just a boothie.
Yeah.
It's just way easier to deal with. You don't have to deal with the politics.
The boothie life. Are there other? Because I want to kind of dive into the nuances of Renaissance fairs that people don't really know about. Is it just all one tight-knit party? Are you guys raging afterwards? Is it just... Because I was trying to go to sleep, damn it, and in the RV park, there was just music going on, people yelling, hooting, and hollering. Was that you? Were you...
Yeah. Well, no, we camp on site, so we're kind of far away from everybody at the RV park. But we do parties.
Sorry.
Dude.
I'm a child.
We do theme parties and that kind of stuff. It really COVID kind of killed a lot of the after hours.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get it back.
It sounded like it, and everybody there was in a good mood. All the workers there seemed to know each other or just have rapport, and just they get people in. I think that's one of the most novel things is seeing people in character and maintaining it. Sometimes breaking it a little just for a laugh or just to be more appealing, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes you get a little nervous, or at least myself. I'm like, shit, I need to perform a little bit myself here. I can't just say something silly and not Now you'll get called out, but you gotta reciprocate.
Yeah, not
It seems like.
necessarily. That's kind of entertainment thing. A lot of us boothies really don't stay in character.
Is there a clique? Is there a clique amongst the Renaissance Fair community? Yes. Oh my! Are the boothies the coolest? Or are you guys like the edgy kids?
Fun. Yeah. We're the ones that are always in trouble.
I know. I just saw multiple people when we were talking. Multiple people came up, gave you a hug, and said, "What's up?"
Mm-hmm. But we've been doing fair for years. I mean, we're a family. We've all known each other for 20 plus years.
No shit. Is everybody generally around the Bay Area, or is it just this kind of summer towards fall time period where Renaissance fairs happen that you see each other?
It depends. There's a lot of people that work crew, travel with the fair, so they do southern, they do northern. My booth, she goes to Bristol, she does southern fair, she does northern fair. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people that do northern also do Dickens, which is the Christmas fair in San Francisco.
Ooh.
It's a lot of fun. It's like walking into 1800s Victorian London.
I like that. I've always wanted one of those big goofy, what's his name? Like the top hat, but the pipe that Sherlock Holmes had. That's him. Mm-hmm. And just be ultra classic and just stuff that bitch with weed. That's the good stuff. What initially drew you to volunteer? Were you always kind of mystical and nerdy and drawn to the Renaissance aura? Yeah. And you were just schmitten by it.
I was, and I liked the party, and that was kind of my jam.
I mean, I've smoked the weed, but I have intention of taking shrooms and kind of having like a nice spiritual refresh. Like I've heard nothing but good things. Would like to have, say, a shepherd there to keep me from going to the bad place and be in nature while I do it and just kick it with Mother Nature, you know?
Yeah. I eat mushrooms a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they good for the soul, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're actually really good for a lot of things. They're great. Microdosing is very, very good for you. Mm-hmm. It does wonderful things to your brain. It helps with a lot of different kinds of mental illness. Psilocybin is pretty fucking amazing.
Big advocate. Is it like, are you in kind of control of like good thoughts, bad thoughts, and just staying in a good place? Or are you just kind of like just in your own head?
I think I've only had 3 really bad trips ever.
How bad?
And they've been bad. I did get caught tripping balls at a reservoir in Modesto when I was 14. And
14? You're... Damn.
And I was having sex with, I think he was 24 or 28, but he had a warrant out for his arrest, and then the cops showed up.
Those are the type of guys you should be having sex with, absolutely. What the fuck? Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like a very bad trip. I was like, is that... You were like saying, I was like, that's the name of your autobiography, Tripping on Acid in a Reservoir at 14.
Well, I started doing drugs and partying, I think, when I was 11.
11? Yeah, like total non sequitur here. Are you familiar with Soft White Underbelly? The YouTube channel?
No, I don't watch a lot of YouTube.
It's this guy who just interviews unbiasedly just all walks of life. Like drug members, gay members, sex offenders, like just anybody and everybody, and he just asks, and people just tell their story. I feel like you would be very good. So I'll just say this: I had you first on this pod. And that guy, Soft White Underbelly, can suck toes. I'm cracking this egg first. Tell me that the comedian guy is chill, because I went and saw him. He like whipped a carrot out of his ass. Brune was funny. He was funny as shit. Played the crap. Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He actually used to do the show with a guy named Mooney. And they were fucking hilarious. But I think Mooney got pretty problematic and never came back.
Really? And just personal problems, or just they needed? It was just.
I don't know. But from what I've gathered, it wasn't a good thing.
Damn, I guess it's like that'd be a sure way to just completely ruin your reputation with other Ren Fairs. I assume it's like a very nuanced group of people, very niche, and like Ren Fairs talk to Ren Fairs and shit. Your stories just seem endless. Other shenanigans you care to share from just Renaissance shenanigans? Because not often do I have a guest on the tap that is open and just down to talk about this shit. And
China,
like whatever you're comfortable with.
He was very, very drunk.
Who is this? Sorry.
A friend, a Faire.
A friend.
Him and I have been doing Faire for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And he did fight a porta potty and lose. That's never fun.
A porta potty and lose?
Yeah, it was very, very, very tough and funny.
What do you mean? What happened?
He freaking he was drunk and he was fighting with the door and trying to talk out and it ended very badly.
Why?
But it was very entertaining.
He had like a soft cock and it slammed in the door?
Yeah.
How did he slam his wiener in the door?
He is a talented guy.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. So you saw that happen. Oh my God. So if we may return to your acid trip, like what were you seeing? What do you remember of just...
That night, the cop car turned into a monster and was trying to eat me. And then...
Was it talking to you?
It wasn't talking, but it was growling. It was no fun.
Like the grill just opened up and just like, time to die. Fuck!
And then there was a giant spider that got created out of nothing. I don't do spiders. I can't handle.
You're a witch. Aren't they supposed to be your kindred spirits? Those who are often... No.
Scream for my daughter. My daughter has to come and remove said spider from wherever I am.
I don't
like them.
I hear you. I don't mean to bum you out, but I do have a catch and release policy in Mikasa here.
She does most of them.
Yeah.
She'll catch and release most of them. The only times that they ever have to die is when they are clearly past the line of coexistence.
Like how big they are. Like a wolf spider or something. Yeah, they're creepy.
I can't hang.
What about...
So many at Fair site. There are so many. And we get tarantulas, and they're all over the fucking place.
I didn't see a one.
It's not okay.
And the tarantulas do frighten me. But what if you were this mini creature, this mini misunderstood creature in this world of giants that sometimes killed you?
Creepy, and you have a kitty.
I did. What's up?
What was that?
Oh, that was my phone texting. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, silly, but I'm busy right now. I can't respond to the text. I'm talking these things. What were we talking about? Sorry, I just got so.
You were trying to convince me to see.
Spiders.
From the viewpoint of
spiders. What about Big Daddy Longlegs? You as a kinky person are Big Daddy Longlegs not, give him a hall pass, why don't you?
Well, if they stay up and away from me, they're fine.
Right.
When I was a teenager, I had a daddy long leg that only had 7 legs, and his name was George.
George.
He was next to my bed, and he would get high with me.
You just like blow a puff?
And then he would like fall down the wall and like hang out.
Oh, you saw him? He would fall?
Yeah, we would hang out.
All right.
Like tumble down the wall.
You know he's got them. Did you catch flies or bring him little bugs to put in his web to feed George? You get the guy high and you don't give him any munchies.
No.
Serena, what a prude. Right. When did you first start smoking marijuana? The devil's lettuce.
I think I was 11.
11. Who was the source? Was it something you're curious about or just...
Drugs were just a normal everyday kind of thing.
No.
My mom would bring me pot when I was being a bitch. Said, you need to get high. You're being a bitch.
Just her way of giving you Ritalin, I guess, to calm you down. Would it work?
Kind of. I was
Yeah.
always kind of a bitch. But
Well, you've been nice to me. I appreciate that.
I'm much nicer. The older I get, the nicer I get.
I mean, we all learn. I mean, we all have our edges, and just, is that something you've, like a defense mechanism, would you say? Just something. Sometimes
people start to get scared when they hear if I go back to my hometown and people find out that I'm in town, they scatter so that they don't have to be.
What? Were you just were you a bully, or why did you have that reputation? You're just mean?
No, I don't put it. I was mean. I started fighting when I was, I think, 9. And
were you looking forward to fights? Were you instigating them?
You like that? No.
No.
I never hit them first. That was always the rule.
You hit him last.
You hit me first. After that, it's fair game. Knock them the fuck out.
My God. What's your record?
Fuck.
Undefeated?
No. I've had my ass kicked quite a few times. I've been jumped.
Really?
It was like I think 10 girls on top of me. But I floored a few of them before I went down.
Oh, you took some of them with you, in a non-sexy way. 10 girls on top of you. I'm sure that's a dream, but in this case,
it was not good.
Oh, was it gang related or what? Why?
No, I was beat up and raped and molested by 2 of the popular boys when I was 13.
Jesus.
And then they convinced me that I should press charges and go through the whole thing. So then I was the town slut because I grew up in a town that had 4,000 people.
Right.
And
where'd you grow up?
Popular boys, Sonora.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it wasn't the first time, wasn't the last.
Oh, so fighting definitely. I don't know. Would you feel a release afterwards, getting out that aggression? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of pent up emotion that comes with that.
Yeah, it helps.
When's the last time you were in a fight?
Oh my God, it's been a really long time.
Yeah, you think you still got it?
Yeah, it was right after my mom and my dad died a few months apart, and I think it was after my dad died. I was in town, and we went to the fair because we were drunk and thought it'd be a good idea.
Indeed.
Knocked some dude on his ass because he was being a punk.
You knocked out some guy? Are you sure that wasn't a 10-year-old boy? You're just drunk. You're like, fuck this guy.
He was being a fucking punk, so I knocked him on his ass.
Wow. How is I feel like, I mean, I've never been in a fight. A straight up.
I don't like being hit.
No, it's I still feel like as someone who's never been in a fight, I still feel like some people in the world, their arrogance or whatever, they need to be humbled. A punch to the face, I feel would humble you. Did that did you gain respect for the person? Say a one-on-one, not getting jumped by 10 girls. That's that's some cowardly shit.
I made a couple of friends.
No way.
She broke my nose. And
you say good punch, bitch.
She tore my shirt, and of course I wasn't wearing a bra, and we're on Main Street, and we're both 11, 12.
Oh God! Oh, sorry. I thought I was older. My apologies for the boob reference, hand gesture. My apologies. That's.
But I mean, we were cool after that.
Yeah.
And my dad took a pencil, put it up my nose, and fucking snapped it back into place.
Hard fucking core. How'd that feel?
Horrible.
Yeah, I can imagine. Maybe a little bit of blood there. A lot of dads there be like, "Oh baby, oh my God!" Just this. Oh boy, just.
My dad would just tell me to rub some dirt on it.
There's a little bit of that kind of rugged upbringing, I think, goes a long way in teaching kids resilience and the fact they can do figure things out for themselves. Might I just say? Oh, well, there's a balance. There's a balance.
I suppose.
Yeah. I don't mean to completely just digress yet again, but your setup of the glowing, the flowers, what are those? Hibiscus? Wisteria. Sorry, wisteria. That's what an awesome setup that is. That is cool. You got these. Let me see those.
Oh, my squishies.
The squishies they are. Is it? Oh, I saw. Well, toothless. Nice.
Yeah, Toothless is in there.
There you go.
That's one of my cats.
Nice.
Other cats. There's one of my dogs.
Yo, dog.
Dog.
Oh, it's an animal kingdom in there.
Yeah.
And you, the queen.
Most days.
Most days. What are your pets' names? Your dogs. We'll start.
My little one is Malachi.
Nice.
My big one is Lizzie Borden.
How appropriate.
She's like the nicest dog ever.
I mean, she would kill people if she could kill someone with an axe. Any intruder going down.
She actually used to have a little stuffed axe that she would carry.
That's adorable. What kind of dogs are they?
Malachi is a rat terrier and God knows what.
Mm-hmm.
She's my Muppet. Lizzie is pit bull, lab, and border collie, I think. And then we also have Dot, who is our little pitty. But she's my daughter. She's out there.
I love pit bulls. They get a bad reputation. They're very affectionate, loving dogs. Just because they're good at their job, keeping people safe. Sure, they get a little excessive at times, but I don't think that's a stigma for some of the nicest dogs I've ever come across are pit bulls. Sweethearts. I love the peacock, by the way, behind you up there. That whole, the fan. Oh, so outside my house, I'm a fan. You get it? God, I'm so funny. I didn't realize you're talking to a fucking comedian here. I'm the best. Outside my house is an empty pool. It used to be filled with water and fun, but now it's empty.
Are most pools generally filled with water?
They are, but not this one because it's decades old now. It's an old doughboy, like up to your waist. But we used to have, because I'm in the house that I grew up in, we used to have baseball, like post Little League parties, birthday parties.
Sleep in the basement?
There's no basement. I know. I'm actually in the room I used to sleep in. I had a bunk bed right here. I got the top bunk because I'm the top dog. But in that pool, now it's empty, but I filled it with like chairs and shit. Now I call it the Peacock Lounge because we've got peacocks all around the property out here. They're the fucking best. We even have an albino one, and I have a feather. An albino feather. So that's the segue I'm going to use. An albino peacock feather. I feel like that has to be used in some kind of witchcraft. So anyways, you claim the witchdom. How did witchcraft come into your life? Were you born into it? How you're born into it? How so? Was your mom a witch? Was a relative a witch? Is it something? So your mom was a witch?
Yeah.
And she comes like, so is it more of a, it's a female bloodline? Was like your grandma, great grandma? Educate me.
Well, my family, they're Strega is what they're called, and Strega is basically Italian witchcraft. My family goes back many generations, all the way back to Italy, and then Italy and Spain. And it's my mom's side of the family, and every woman that has been born in our family is sensitive. We all practice at one point or another. My grandmother and my great-grandmother and my great-great-grandmother, they all hid mostly behind Catholicism because back then it wasn't really okay to be a witch.
And the whole Salem witch trials, I'm sure, no big deal. No biggie.
So it's just, we've always been like this. It's just kind of something that we do. The men in our family, there's not very many of them. There's only been a couple born throughout the generations, but they're super, super powerful, but they all go as far away from witchcraft as they possibly can. My uncle is a professor in England.
They ashamed of it or something?
Not necessarily ashamed of it, but definitely freaked out about it.
Would they be considered warlocks, or what would be like just a male witch?
Male witch is a witch.
Witch is a witch. So, all right. A witch is a witch is a witch. I can respect it.
It's more of a way of life and the way you look at things. And
okay,
what you practice.
That's very interesting. Kind of like Buddhism, like a way of life. And that like, there's like the gypsy in, my goodness, the Peaky Blinders, like they're gypsies. Like that's something of that culture. So is that something, do you share, do you have to have a bloodline, or is it just more of a way of life that is shared?
Anyone can be pagan. Paganism is the oldest religion in the world.
And that seems all encompassing of like witchcraft and say Zeus.
Spirituality, all of that stuff. Everything that all of the modern religions are based on.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Came from paganism.
Right. And is it, when you say sensitive, what do you mean? Like, is there like every single person that has supernatural powers in some regard?
Everyone does, but unfortunately, most humans have been taught to suppress it, to ignore it. That's why kids are able to see ghosts way more than people can, because they're not taught to shut it down yet. I was never taught to shut it down. I was taught to embrace it, and same with my mom, and so on and so forth.
I guess just anecdotally for myself, I mean, I knew of ghosts, seen movies, what have you, and I was always rather frightened. Like like nothing really seemed more scary to me than ghosts. But my mom and dad never really said, "Hey, if you see ghosts or feel a certain way, you can't like take it down, you know, or don't adhere it." It just never really came up. I never really had any supernatural experience. In some way, there's some things that have happened in life where I'm like, somebody's got my back. I should have snapped my ankle. I should have been in that car accident. What have you? Coincidence? I just think things happen. But I don't know. Were you told that you were a witch, or did you kind of figure out on your own accord, like something's different about me? What age?
Oh God, real young. I mean,
yeah.
Some of my first friends were spirits. So 4, 5.
Walk me through, like, is that maybe some kids, oh, it's my imaginary friend, but is it really a spirit they're talking to?
Can be.
Why is this not more widespread? Like, is it rare that you're of a witch bloodline? I mean, there's plenty of lore and like shows made, but like.
Yeah, well, because people don't. It freaks people out. People don't like what they don't understand. So anytime a kid is like, no, really, there's something there, their parents tell them, no, there's not. There's nothing there.
Right.
Shut it off. And that's, people don't want to, you can't physically touch it. You can't prove that it's there, and it's scary. People don't like scary. People want everyone to be good people and not freak everybody out.
It seems like there's so many.
They burn so many witches at
So
the stake.
is that something like people joke about it now? It almost seems kind of surreal or something out of a horror novel that Salem witch trials absolutely happened. Women were burned at the stake. They were tortured, drowned. How does that resonate with you and other witches? Is that something that is like, say, the Holocaust for Jewish people, like something like so?
It's definitely sucks. Like, there's parts of just this in the South that I won't go to because they will try to burn me at the stake.
Where?
In the South. In the Carolinas.
What?
Dude, well, they wouldn't probably necessarily fully burn me at the stake, but I'm sure they would probably lynch me if they could. They don't. Like
Is it the Klan?
It's an everyday. There's a lot of people that they don't like what they don't understand.
Is it fanatical like Catholics down there, or any like some other religion? Are there? This is nuts. Like, is there a subculture or like underworld, so to speak, of witches and like killers, hunters, like people that are like seeking out to get you?
I don't know so much about that, but I mean, all you have to do is listen to an evangelical pastor.
Yeah, shit.
You can see the amount of hate that they have.
Was the guy Ken Copeland, like the super churches or whatever, and
God, they're awful.
it seems like is witchcraft, like say paganism, it seems like there is a correlation with heaven and hell. You got like, and the devil. Witches are always associated with the devil, with the, like the Catholicism of it, and it.
Yeah,
what? I have a million and one questions, so just go. If you got a ramble, go on a rant. Give me just break it down for me.
The idea of the devil and the goat man, that ideology that has been created is based on the god consort and also Pan, which paganism has many deities. They worship very different things. And so when Christianity came around and they couldn't get all of the pagans to become Christians, so then they're like, oh, well, what you worship is the devil. This is our new devil. So if you're doing that, then you're evil, and we have to persecute you. That's why Christmas is in December. That's why every major holiday is based on a pagan holiday. Every single one. And that's what Christianity has been doing since it first came around.
So I remember I read, I do have a bookshelf back there because I'm that edumacated. It's called Hey Whipple Squeeze This, and it's this old advertising dude, and he was asked about what he thinks the greatest ad campaign or brand is of all time, and he said it's the church, because every town has one. Every, like, the cross, people are giving you free money. When you really think of it as a brand and a corporation, HQ is in the Vatican City. That's wild. I would like to think that there's, like, my hometown, I've had great experience with priests and people who are like, you're just legit, say, take religion aside, and they're just trying to spread good practice. Like, they're good community leaders. Like, they accept you. They're easy to talk to. It's when it goes to the extreme side, which people are holding up snakes and all due respect, if you are there spells with sorry. I need to really get these questions under wraps because I'm just spitting out whatever comes to mind. I apologize.
Usually stuff with snakes, and or animal, any kind of animal sacrifice or anything like that is a different kind of religion. It could be Santeria, it could be hoodoo, voodoo, that kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, especially like a lot of the older spells and spell books, if you can find them, they've got some pretty interesting stuff in there.
Right.
But as a general rule, most people that practice witchcraft nowadays, there's not really, I mean, we have familiars and stuff like that, but there's not, like, it's not like what you envision in your mind when you think about witches dancing around a bonfire with a snake.
Right. There's more of like a cliche representation of them, saying Charmed and whatnot. Do you endorse Charmed? Or is that like a shitty representation of? I love Alyssa Milano. I'll tell you that much.
It's a shitty representation, but I mean, of course, I'm seeing them all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's cool. I think it paints witches in a good light, at least, or like they can be.
Practical magic is much better for that. And the craft is very good with that.
If we don't mind, so to make some kind of sense, so I'm not just spitting out random fucking like inane questions. Like, so when you first figured out that there's something different about you, do you talk to your mom? Like, how did you progress with this as part of your lifestyle? And like, it's also like, is it genetics that make this what you are? Like your bloodline? Like,
I think part of it's a bloodline. Part of it is just the way that you're raised. I'm a big fat nerd, so I got every book that I could possibly get, and I've studied most of the world religions. I've studied witchcraft. I've talked with various people, psychics and other people that practice witchcraft. I just kind of did the research.
And you were able to, did your mom give you insight or teach you like rituals? Like,
she didn't really teach me rituals. I was the one that had to do a lot of the rituals, especially towards the end. So my dad was possessed by something that we called John, and he was evil. And there was also something very evil that lived on our property that I had to banish. And
if you don't mind me,
I'm so old and so strong, I wasn't able to banish it all the way, but I at least got it to stay on the outskirts.
How old were you?
My life. Which part?
I guess.
My dad got possessed for the first time. Fuck, I was probably. I I'd have to say 13.
Like, what do you mean possess? Would it come and get him like we see in movies where they can float, heads twisting in 360 degrees, or is it?
He would his eyes would change, his mannerisms would change. He would turn into an incredibly sadistic and violent man.
What was?
Have you ever seen Amityville Horror?
I think so. I with Ryan Reynolds, or because I've seen movies with the Warrens, and could that be what would people describe that as mental illness, say bipolar or schizophrenia?
No, because I've been. Granted, my dad did have mental illness, but it wasn't like that. It was different. Growing up with mental illness, you know what is and what isn't.
Right. Was it like a
was very real.
could it be a demon or like an entity from another dimension of sort, like just an evil spirit? Like, because there's this physical realm that we're in, and then there's where we go to when we die, which is the infinite, the what have you, the ether. Is it another spirit, like the spirit of another person? Does it have to be a demon? Like, talk me through this.
More than just here and then where you go when you die. There are numerous parallel realms that are connected with us. Because most people don't know how to go back and forth.
Is it other like Earths or like parallel realities where, say, in this time, say another reality where it's like I'm on your side and you're on my side of the screen right now? Maybe in another universe, you're the your podcast, you're interviewing me.
Scientists have already confirmed that there are multiple parallel universes next to ours. The realms that I talk about, there's the dream realm, there's the realm of the state, there's the place where there's not very nice things.
Hell? Or what we've been told is hell, the idea of hell, a place of despair.
I don't believe in heaven or hell. We're very much reincarnation in this household.
Oh my God, I had a question in mind. So what did you do to have to banish the spirit out of your dad or the property?
Out of my dad, it was off property.
So
I had to find out its name.
What'd you have to do to
Finding an entity's name is the easiest way to hold power over it. Names are very, very important.
Why so?
Because that's it. Your name is who you are and what you are. That is you. And giving that to somebody gives them some semblance of control over you. It's just like
interesting.
Your body parts, things like that.
What if it didn't have a name? Sorry, like just have you ever come across something that was just nameless, something we can't comprehend?
They all have names. Whether or not we can comprehend it doesn't really matter. Everything has a name, especially if it's a sentient entity.
Could it be?
They call themselves something.
Okay, could it be like a sound or something we don't know how to pronounce, like not a traditional name?
Probably.
Yeah. So what did you have to do to banish whatever it was, and what made it so powerful? Like, was it the fear that you felt? Was it just a presence?
No, this thing was old. It'd been following my family for a really long time.
Why so?
My dad went through some shit. He was a Vietnam vet.
Fuck.
He's a biker. He's a 1%er. And it was a real tummy with not great humans that were, some of them were just, they were evil, like embodied. They were just.
Do you think there's some people that are born that are just an evil spirit that happen to inhabit a human body, but they're not really human? So like serial killers, for instance, like for me, that's not a human being.
Serial killers are a little bit different. Serial killers, they are learning that their brains are different. they're evil and they need to be not in this world breathing. But I don't think, like, there's a couple that might have been something extra than human. But, no, have you ever seen somebody just by walking by them and you just get either a paranoid feeling or a chill, or there's just something that you can't put your finger on that really freaks you out about somebody? It's not anybody that you know, just...
Nothing that I can truly remember. Maybe that's just me being oblivious. I have, at least from research that I've done, I know everybody loves to claim this, but this is undiagnosed, say, ADHD, where I'm just in my own way, like just, I don't really... sometimes I can tell when someone's looking at me. One ex-friend of mine had to oust him out of my life because I realized the guy was a raging sociopath. Like, I was never fully comfortable around him, but never felt like fear. And we can get along, but there was just something I was like, I can't truly be me around you, no matter how much we hang out and stuff. We can get into a good conversation, but nothing that really is like, wow, I do not want to be around that person again. Nothing like that.
When you do, you'll know.
Yeah.
It's a reaction that you get, like, deep in your intuition, and there's not a whole lot of them out walking around, but
have you come across those people, I assume?
Oh yeah.
Like, this person's murdered.
Really dark things.
So if you don't, I mean, I'm gonna go, like, just say, hey, don't want to go there, like, just let me know. But what did you do to, I guess, dispel the spirit, the entity that was on your property? And where was your property? Was it your house? Was it a farm place? Like outdoor property?
We just called it the property.
The property.
My parents had 3 acres in Sonora.
Okay.
And it was, my dad's shop was there, my parents' place, and there was just shit fucking everywhere.
The property. The property. It's the property.
Yeah. I had to do a lot of research, and I had to collect specific herbs. We had to build a bonfire. I had to do some meditation and then some demanding, and I had to make it tell me its name.
You had to what?
I had to make it tell me its name.
So did your mom help you with this, the preparations, and like?
She helped me with the prep. She was there when we did it. Another one of her friends was there as well, and
a witch of the same, someone who's about it. Like, could they say I wanted to be a witch? Like, is it just a way of believing and practicing? Yeah. Even if I don't have, like, your bloodline, would I still be able to experience what you experience? I'm just a poser.
Maybe.
A mudblood.
Maybe.
Sorry. Didn't mean to use that word. Oh, I have to bleep that out. Sorry.
I'm fortunate in the fact that I wasn't ever taught to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
It would just take more work for you to be able to open up the part of your mind that you need to, but anybody can practice witchcraft.
Mm-hmm. And when you set that bonfire, like, were you hearing a voice? Were you, like, experiencing something? And what made this presence, like, would there be fucked up shit happening around the property? Some, like, bodily...
People,
who would?
It would.
Like, would things be... Would, like, axe be thrown? Or, like, stuff float and fly? Like, what?
Scratches, bruises. It would follow you fucking everywhere. God, I hated that thing.
Well, could you say its name, or would that bring... I'm not trying to... all right. Let's just say this. There's enough anecdotal evidence out there or stories from people and hearing you. I'm not trying to transfer evil spirits through the internets into my house. Damn it all.
No, I let him...
Keep me safe.
When I walked off the property for the last time.
Yeah.
Its name was Samuel, and
You say it. You say it.
yeah,
Why it, not him?
because it doesn't have a gender. It's
Well,
just it.
Was it like someone named Samuel who died and became evil in the afterlife? No.
No, it was something else.
I'd pick a better name than that. Give me a good demon name, a Beelzebub or I don't know,
That's how you know that somebody's talking shit, because you very rarely deal with anybody named Beelzebub in real life.
or was it Lilith?
Oh, Lilith is my...
Well, isn't she a bad girl? No? Like a demon, like one of the henchmen. So is paganism...
She is dubbed the mother of demons. The thing is Christianity, oh dear sweet wonderful Christianity, has vilified her. She was the first woman.
Not Eve?
No, not Eve. Lilith was the first woman, but she wouldn't do what Adam wanted. So Adam got mad and asked God, I want a new one.
Did they tear that page out of the Bible? How came you by this evidence?
It's
in the Grimoire.
not an Old Testament.
Really? I've never heard about it. Huh?
Have you read the Bible?
No, but I went to Catholic school and did it all. I'm a confirmed Catholic, so we're coming for you, lady.
You can try.
How dare you? Like Lilith is the main like bad guy in Diablo 4. Lilith is a good prominent character in the show Supernatural. Like she is known. Why the bad rap? So it seems like my buddy is a Satanist. Like he's read the Satanic Bible and he said like, yeah, when people say hell, Satan, it's
actually a really cool religion.
He said it's so open, like anybody. He says it's open for anybody, and you say hell, Satan is like, do you like live your life? And like he said, there's like little rituals and stuff. So is Satanism and the devil like that kind of separates from Catholicism, Christianity, and it goes into the realm of paganism? It seems like there's a lot of love.
Paganism really is a response to Catholicism. True Satanists don't actually believe in an actual Satan.
It's like we are all Satan. We are a collective.
Well, it's mostly like you do you. Be a dick. If you have to be a dick, then well, you know.
Is there a devil though? Is there a spawn of Satan? Like other like demons?
Like there are entities that are evil.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's like one that lords above them all.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. If
that's as silly as thinking that there's one God and that some old dude watching us from a fucking
you gotta believe. It's like it just kind of the question came to mind. Excuse me, the other day when I was thinking about it. The devil hates God and fell from heaven and is torturing people who did bad. Isn't he not like technically doing the Lord's bidding by torturing people? It seemed like
the devil doesn't hate God. He loves God. That's the problem.
He just got jelly of all us humans.
He was one of his favorite sons. If you go by the Bible, he was God's favorite. He was the morning glory.
He's beautiful.
He was it.
What makes Lilith so appealing to you? Is she like kind of like have witch type connections, or is just the first feminist? And did she like go to hell or something after Adam's like, nah, I don't want this one?
Supposedly she went. Well, she had tons of kids, but then they turned them all into demons, and so she's the mother of demons.
So Adam gave like.
Demons.
Adam banged her out and they had demons?
But she wouldn't do what... They weren't originally demons. When she was cast out, they turned her children into demons.
So there's no sex slave parties in Eden?
Probably not.
What prudes, my God. Missionary only, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, Lilith was the first woman, and she was... No, I'm not a physician. I'm not any of this. You're not going to fucking tell me what to do.
So was she technically without sin then? Because I did not know Lilith existed as the first woman, and Adam and Eve ate that forbidden fruit, but Lilith didn't. I mean, unless sex was seen as a sin at that point, unless it was all for procreation and they loved each other, but then Adam got all persnickety.
Yeah, he wanted wanted a wife that he could boss around. Be an obedient wife.
There are some old school OG type nuances in the Bible, which I think, okay, at the time written by, whoever wrote it at that time, where their slavery is like, it's a thumbs up, it's a way of life, slavery, huzzah, and like male dominated. But wow, that's an interesting tale. All right, well, if we may backtrack a little bit, so why was it up to you to exorcise this demon from the property? Why did your mom not help out? Are some women born with more powers, or like, how powerful is your daughter?
Very.
More powerful than you?
Almost.
How do you tell your power? Is it comparative to other witches, and like, oh, you don't see this demon hanging out in the corner and he's just over there with a drink like, hey, how's it going?
That's a tough question.
Help me understand.
It's just something that you feel. Like, I mean, when I was in my first trimester of pregnancy with her, I went to England and spent summer solstice at Stonehenge, went to Glastonbury, bathed in the Chalice Well, drank from the Chalice Well.
For her? Are these things you did for her? Like, would that help?
And for me. Because Glastonbury is where the Isle of Avalon is supposed to be.
I'm ignorant to it. I'm sorry. No, I love history. I love history, like Stonehenge, like the lore behind things and why people like believed what they believed. So like, give me the scoop.
Avalon and Glastonbury are kind of connected to the King Arthur stories.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a huge, huge witch community, and the Chalice Well is a spring that supposedly is where the Holy Grail was hidden.
Really? I thought Indiana Jones found it. I thought Indiana Jones found it in the Middle East. Yeah, sorry.
The Chalice Well has healing properties, and the water is magic. So of course I bathed in it, and I took some home. I have some. I think it's in my altar. It stays cold.
Altar. Okay, so is Lilith the one you worship? Do witches have like a deity that they worship?
We do. We have multiples. Hecate is my main.
Hecate.
Lilith is definitely. She's been calling to me a lot over the last couple of years.
How do you? Is there like dreams or just things? Is it just a feeling? Okay, this feels like Lilith.
Feel it. Like.
What is she saying?
She wants to hang out. She wants to be one of my deities.
Can she be in multiple places at one time? Like, say there's a witch in Indiana right now, and like Lilith hanging out with her, hanging out with you. Why? So sorry, who's the first one? Hecate. Hecate. Who is that? Hecate.
She's the mother of witches, basically.
Oh.
She is the maiden mother and crone.
That's a name I should know.
She's a goddess, and she's fucking amazing. She's the goddess of magic. She's just, yeah. She's a bad bitch.
When did she exist? This bad bitch, Hecate.
Hecate, yeah.
So when did she exist? Where did she exist? Was it something out of Africa, Europe?
I think she originated between the Celts and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
She was some of those gods and goddesses. There are so many. So many different places.
Did it all come about like this magic? Did it all come about at like one time? Did history books all tell a similar story around the same time, or were there like?
Don't talk about it.
Were there cave people that had magic abilities? Or like something? Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, look at the Native Americans. They knew how to
For sure.
coexist. They knew how to spirit walk. They knew how to live and commune with nature. And that's what the very first pagans worshipped was nature.
Mm-hmm.
and the seasons, and that's where the druids came from, and all of that.
When you say spirit walker, is that like walking in one's like being kind of dreaming fluidly, or like being able to just?
It's not like lucid dream. I mean, I guess it could be lucid dreaming, but spirit walking is so. Have you ever been to a sweat lodge?
I've seen them. I have not. I've been in a sauna, but I've not dabbled. I know it's like a transformative experience, though.
They do rituals, and generally there's some form of something that helps kind of with the happiness.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do like psilocybin or other various different hallucination type plants, and it gets you into a state, and they'll fall into a state of meditation, and that's when you can spirit walk, and you can go and you can see who you need to see. You can go and discuss different things with gods and goddesses, all the things. You find out who your spirit animal is. That's a real thing.
That's incredible.
A funny meme that goes around.
That's intense. Like, what's Lilith like? What's it hanging out with these deities of yours?
She's empowering.
Yeah?
She helps me.
Like, do you have
My life has been very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with a lot of loss, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. And Lilith kind of helps me process it properly instead of falling into
despair.
The sad,
Is the sad a deity in itself? I feel like emotions are.
It's just a cunt. It's just.
It's a cunt of an emotion.
I became the matriarch of my entire family at 35.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I became the matriarch of my entire family at 35. My
It's
mom
very
went
young.
into an emergency room and didn't come out, and I had to take her off of life support.
Oh my
She was 51.
God.
That was right after my grandmother had died. Right after a dear friend of mine was killed in a murder-suicide. Before that, a friend of mine was hit by lightning and killed.
Lightning?
After my mom died, my dad died 2 months later.
Broken heart?
A year after that, well, and he was sick. We all expected him to die first.
Yeah.
Year after that, my aunt died.
Why all the
grandparents, everybody, they're all gone. Everybody's gone.
Is there? Christ, I'm very sorry to hear that. And, like, I appreciate you sharing, and like, I do sound effects in this podcast, but like, I guarantee you, like, I'm not going to disrespect like the story. Like that's some real shit. There's other things that, yeah, like the sex stories and whatnot, but like, I don't know. I'm sorry that you went through all that, and through all that, like, is there something connected with so much calamity? It seems like it all happened in such a quick, like a short period of time. Is there something that like a reckoning that your family is facing, or is it like evil that, or is it just life? Like,
I think it's probably a mix of all the things, because there was the thing that followed my mother's side of the family that was evil.
Samuel?
No. This was a different one.
Fuck. How do you know how old it is? Like, I definitely want to get back to like the main story here, but like,
it's hard to know really how old they are.
Like thousands of years, millennia.
This particular one has been connected to my family for at least 6 or 7 generations before they came over from Italy.
Why don't they just make friends? Like, why does it need to cause beef or be evil? Is it getting off on evil?
I'm pretty sure somebody was cursed or hexed many generations ago. Pretty sure, from what I've been able to gather, I think it was a gypsy hex, and there's not, I haven't been able to find much other than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have somehow managed to, after my mom and my aunt died, the thing is gone.
Like the curse was lifted, you could feel it?
Maybe. I mean, I'm still working on the curse, but the thing itself isn't as prevalent.
Can you make peace with it? Like, hey, I understand, but like, I'm one of the few people that can interact with you, and is there actual conversation happening, or is it an exchange of like emotion? Like, I'm sad now, I feel anger.
It's an exchange of emotion mostly.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things can't be
reasoned with, or because they're not human. Can there be human curses put upon you with like I guess my mind personifies spirits or demons or whatever as like things with emotions, or is it not that, like nothing to do with human?
So there's spirits. Okay, spirits are entities that used to be human.
Mm-hmm.
Those are spirits.
Okay.
These entities were never human.
I hear you.
They're older, but they've never been human, so they don't reason like we do.
Are they what we would consider like aliens, I guess? Something from beyond Earth?
There are quite a few different schools of thought that it's all very, very much connected. That the things that people called spirits back in the 1800s were actually aliens. There's a lot of crossover, and there's a lot more work going into seeing what these crossovers are like right now. But nobody really knows for sure.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think a lot of the entities that I've dealt with in my life are very much Earth-based.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the idea that humans are the most intelligent things in the entire infinite universe is pretty fucking ballsy. Like, I don't think that's true.
That's why I like Rick and Morty so much.
My parents believe very much in aliens. They had abductions. They did all that shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's it. Like. So I'll tell you this much, just based on our conversation right now, this will not be our last podcast because I have a million more, and just like I want to go like a chronicling of what you've gone through and like the stories. Have you been on quests? Have you been a quest bestowed upon you to like make this potion, or I don't know, like or
no, I've been on vision quests, and I've traveled to other realms.
What other realms? Through acid.
I tend to I do like going to the fairy realm a lot. I like the fae folk. I'm very much
crafty fuckers.
I'm part fair.
So I was told, because I got this at the Ren Faire I met you at, and someone says, "Oh, be careful." What's that?
That came from me.
This was from you? Were you the one that's?
Everybody that had those, I gave everybody those.
You told me you were a fae, and oh my god. I guess I owe you a favor. Damn it. I even said in the podcast when I was recapping, that was you that gave that to me? Okay, so damn it. Oh my God. In my previous podcast, I kind of recalled my experience at the Ren Faire, right? And I said, I was saying all my cool little things. I got these crystals. I got this Lord of the Rings D&D dice holding set. And then I also said I got this, and they said, "Oh, be careful, I'm a fae," because I couldn't remember who gave it to me. And I was like, "Well, thank goodness I haven't come across the fae. Never found me, so I don't owe any favors." Fuck.
See what happens when you take trinkets from fae?
Oh my god. Like, this some supernatural action just happened here. I didn't even remember that was you. If I may, because we'll wrap this up here. What is some of the craziest shit you've seen while involved in witchcraft? I think I remember asking you at the Ren Faire, have you seen someone float? Have you seen something like fly across, like something people wouldn't believe? And one of my old friends wanted me to ask you, like, if you've ever used spells and these curses and stuff for your own gain. But first question first, the wild shit. The wild shit.
This is what you're supposed to do for your own gain. That's why we have spell work. You do spells in order to gain something.
Mm-hmm. That's what you'd say a spell is like an intention with it.
In manifestation.
Okay. I just got into magic cards, so I'm all about my spells.
Ritual, just like, okay, Catholicism. They have all the ritual with the altar and the candles and the fucking
body of Christ.
You know.
We shake hands. We say peace be with you. You know, we have the holy. The holy. It's good. You've never had. It's good stuff. It's vice. Luckily for me, I've only had like really good like inspirational priests that would give good sermons. I just like kind of give like, hey, here's some words to live by. They're spitting some good stuff. Never felt. I did not feel that tingling. Of course, I was a cute kid. I got this button nose, comb over hair. I was prime pickings. But those guys, I guess the priests I had were opted to be, you know, community leaders and like role models to live by. Those crazy bastards. But my dad said, like, once all this stuff with the priests came out with pedophilia, my dad's like, if I knew that shit was going on, I would have pulled you out of that school years ago. It's so ironic, you know. It just sucks to see like this bastion of moral, objective, like morality. But
really, all it comes down to is old white men in a position of power taking advantage of everything else that is around. And taking whatever they want.
Power's not going to take itself, lady. Sorry, I don't mean to make that's a horrible thing to make a joke of. But if we may reverse back to some of the craziest shit you've seen whilst witching. Whilst you witch.
Let's see. Friends of mine, we would all have the same dream of this house. We couldn't figure it out. And come on, get up here. You can. Oh, is she in your way? Hold on.
No. Address the doggos.
What do you need? Do you want up?
Total boob shot.
Sorry.
You're good.
Come here. What do you want? Do you want up? Come here. I'm not gonna help you again. No, Lizzie, I don't want you. Come here, itty bitty.
Lizzie.
Come here, itty bitty. Oh my God. Okay, no. You're in the thing. Go that way. Okay. God. This is what it's like when you have a million fucking animals.
They love you though.
Oh, they drive me insane.
As they should.
Let's see. So yeah, my friends and I, Lizzie, we're not doing this right now. I'll let you guys out in a minute.
That's why I left my cat. I banished them. I banished them by simply closing the door. That was my spell.
Yeah, no, I don't banish any of them. It's a bad idea. Malachi can't be far away from me or she thinks that she might die. So, can you take Malachi out to go potty, please? Thank you. Okay. Friend, she's over here on the chair. She has to go potty. She doesn't want to be on the bed.
Who was that?
Thank you, babe. I love you. It's my kiddo. She can't hear you. You're in my ear.
Oh, damn it. I'll just blast through your ear and just have you bleed. You have a great tap. You're going to have a great episode, this. It's going to be glorious.
We would dream about the same house.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't figure it out. And then one day we found the house.
Where was it?
It was in the middle of nowhere. It took quite a bit to get to it. It was abandoned.
How'd you find it? How'd you know where it was?
We dreamt about it.
You guys just went out for a drive. Let's go try to find this house. Yeah. And you just found it.
And we found it.
All of you, how many of you had the same dream?
4.
Are we all witches, or was it your power kind of bleeding into their conscious or subconscious? In Sonora. Mm-hmm. How far away was it?
Fuck. We were young, so we weren't like super. We were able to walk to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think. It was out in the middle of some field. I mean, you have to top fences.
And you just trusted your intuition. All 4 of you are like, you know what? This seems like the right way. Let's hop this fence. Let's crawl through this tunnel.
Yeah, we all dreamt about the same house. So yeah, let's go check out the house.
And what was in that house? What was so significant about it?
So there was.
That's fucking wild that all 4 of you. And I'm gonna take your word for it. Damn it! I know you wouldn't lie to me.
I would not lie to you.
No.
There was a ghost. God, I can't remember his name, and he kept telling us he needed help. He needed help, and we had to find the house in order to help him.
Who is this again? I'm sorry.
We found the house. A ghost. Was not alive. So we find the house, and we start going through it, and I mean, we're finding all kinds of weird shit, super old photos.
Totally abandoned. Something out of a horror movie.
Of stuff. Yeah.
Did you have like a lantern or something, flashlights, or just raw dogging it?
We didn't. I think the first time we went, it was during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think we went 3 times total. The third time it was at night, and I think we had flashlights.
Fuck. Why at night? You guys are sick. What do you find? You find anything or help out who is reaching out to you?
Well, that's the thing. So we decided there was also a cemetery that was real close that we would hang out in, and we thought that that's where he was buried.
Oh my God, would that not give you the?
Rest at his grave. Well, come to find out, he was not what he said he was, and we got fucked up. It was pretty intense. We had made our own Ouija board, and we had been talking to this thing for weeks.
Where like he could communicate? Is there like a certain like distance around a graveyard or a source that the power holds, or could you be in like Timbuktu and still have this conversation with this spirit?
We would have the conversation with it. I mean, in our houses, in our dreams. So
it wasn't a spirit. It was an entity.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was something nasty.
What happened?
So
You said it was intense. I'm sorry. Oh.
I ended up getting possessed by this thing.
What?
I wasn't me anymore.
Was this all in one night? Like, did you like? What that feel like?
It was the night that we figured out that it wasn't what we thought it was, and it was fucked. My friends are screaming. I stopped breathing. They had to like really fight to kind of get me back.
How did they fight? Like, is there enchantments or like just giving you like
enchantments and just calling to me in order for me to get the thing out, so that I could not die.
Did it wanted to kill you?
Yeah.
Why?
I stopped breathing. I stopped breathing for like 2-3 minutes.
Why did it do this?
It's because it can. It was reaching out to whatever it could find, and it managed to find all of us.
Is killing something that the entities and spirits get off on? Like what purpose does it serve? This whatever, this, not the astral plane, but this 3D, this flesh and blood, this plane of vessels.
Causes chaos.
This pain and chaos within us reverberate in this spirit realm, because that's kind of like in tune with like what I'm writing about, like pain and emotion. It's like what we feel in the physical, but it also manifests subconsciously in the kind of like whatever's powering our eyes with the spirit that drives us, right? Because there's my soul, your soul that makes you you. Or is it?
It's all energy.
Yeah.
And it imprints everywhere.
That's horrifying. Like, so they called your name. Like, how do they save you? And what do you remember from that?
I don't remember much. I remember at one point I looked over at my friend, and she started screaming because apparently my face was not my face. And we were not on any drugs at this particular moment.
Fuck. This is in the house or the graveyard?
The graveyard.
You are adding so many you are reinforcing so many like ridiculous notions I've ever had about graveyards. And should we be scared? Like, why was that? Like, are the dead cool to hang out with? Like, what'd you?
Yeah, it's peaceful.
Yeah, what makes them so chill? Like, do you just inhabit like the spirit? Just kind of manifest like a. People think of a spirit as just it's shaped like the vessel that it once inhabited, or is it just a blur And like, why hang out when you could?
It more often than not. I mean, sometimes you can see the forms, but generally it's just kind of.
If I passed away, I'd want to hang out with my family and try to communicate with them as much as possible. That sounds like a really horrible afterlife, to be so close yet never be able to talk to them again. Or is it not what I'm thinking? That sounds so hellish to not be able to.
That's why there's so many spirits that people have interactions with, because they don't want to let go and they don't want to move on. Our spirits, the way that I think it works is I believe very strongly in reincarnation. I remember at least 4 of my lives. And
4 of your lives?
Each time you die, if you hang around, you're not going to be able to go to your next life.
Could you somehow, like, you know what, I feel like living the next life now? Or is that a one-time decision, like forever?
You can't make that decision. You have to let life play out as it is going to.
What lives have you lived, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been a witch. I was burned at the stake.
So that's like 1600s, East Coast, United States?
Yeah. No, this was in Europe. I was a madam at a brothel.
Oh.
And I was not a very nice woman.
Why not? What'd you do? Like, do you remember it intimately?
I remember it. It's a lot of bits and pieces and a lot of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't play out for me like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the kind of things that I did. I can feel the person that I was in the past life when I'm around anything similar to the other. Like I don't like being burned.
No, me neither. It is like, I want concrete answers, damn it. I would want like a photographic memory of everything. It's like, how'd you come to the...
And you would never learn.
Well, how'd you come to the conclusion that you had lived these lives? Like, is it trusting these emotions and just kind of connecting A to B, that you were a madam, or that...
I know things that I shouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never been a madam, never worked in a whorehouse, but I know how they work.
Do you think that explains how, like, your promiscuity growing up and like the being part of the Ren Faire and stuff? Some Fallout sexiness.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I'm also, I'm a sexual assault survivor. So, and the first time I was ever sexually assaulted, I think I was 3, and that went on.
Fuck.
Until I was like 6.
Damn.
So it's always kind of been, sex is always, it's a thing. And
I'm
my
so
dad
sorry.
was
Oh, fuck.
Very open about sex all of the time. They would fuck all over my fucking house. I'd find my mom's panties in my car.
Oh my God. Did they have no respect for the children and like kind of do it not when you can hear it and see it?
No. When my mom first met my dad, because he was my stepdad, but he's the man that raised me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The man that we got away from before my mom met my dad, I watched him try to kill her.
Jesus Christ.
So I was kind of fucked up a little bit.
Sounds a little traumatic, to say the least.
I would have issues if I would hear them having sex. It would freak me out and make me cry. But
that's brutal. But it seems like, I mean, being able to talk about it so freely and openly seems like, like it's like a demon that you stare in the eyes and you're like, all right, like, yeah, you're a part of me, but I'm not going to stop living life because of it. We do.
It doesn't have to suck.
All throughout high school, I was just like, why not me? I play sports. I'm a nice person. Fuck. It was all that mattered. And then like you finally have it, I'm like, oh, like, that's nice. That's nice, but it's not like what I should have. Feeling such FOMO in high school. It was like just such a... I am cute. I wouldn't drink. I was pure.
The first time I had sex when I wanted to, it was my 8th grade graduation, and my friends got me a boy so that I could have sex.
A piece of meat, eh? An offering unto thee? Mm-hmm. Oh, my.
And I've been doing it ever since.
And is sexual promiscuity a common thing in witchcraft? It just seems like something like rituals.
Common thing. I mean, I think that people that practice witchcraft are a little more confident in their sexuality.
Yeah.
And there's sex magic, which can be really fucking intense.
Ooh. Some Aphrodite worship, you say? Or is she a total prude compared to what you've seen? My word.
Sex magic is pretty awesome. If you can find somebody that knows what they're doing, it can be pretty fucking mind-blowing.
Is it just like is there drugs and alcohol involved, or like, or
No, doesn't have to be.
is that just your way of saying wild foreplay?
No.
No.
No, it's actual sex magic is an actual thing. They're actual rituals. It's harnessing the power from the orgasms and the pleasure, and it's.
My goodness. Well, my goodness, Serena, I appreciate you giving me, I'm not sure, let me see how long we've been podcasting for. Let me check here. A mere hour 35, no big deal. My God, I appreciate you like sharing. You've shared with me like so much. Anybody's listening to this, I have a great feeling about this episode. Just, I don't know, it was just so fun.
Where the fuck did you find this girl?
I don't care. Like, the Ren Faire, that's why people need to go to Ren Fairs. This is fucking awesome. The first time, like, just meeting somebody completely new, and just you're so open and casual, and like I appreciate you answering my questions. I don't mean if any of them were like silly or whatever. One last one, like, what is your like most powerful spell in your arsenal? Or are you more?
Pretty nasty hexes, I think.
Or are you more of a potion person? Oh, hexes.
Yeah.
What?
I don't do them very often, but when I do, it's
What's an example of one? You may or may not, we can speak hypothetically. What hex may you or may you not have wielded?
Oh boy, I don't do them super often. Like, you really have to fucking piss me off for me to do it.
Are they negative? Like, very like?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they're gonna cause problems in your life.
Are you concentrating bad energy upon someone? Like, be quote unquote bad luck?
Bad luck. Wreck every car you have. You lose your house.
Shit.
Your money. You lose your spouse.
I will stay on your good side, Serena, for the love of God. Have you seen that happen to somebody you've hexed?
Yeah.
Do you feel remorse?
People move out of the state because I scared them so badly.
Do you feel like remorse? Like, okay, I hexed the fuck out of this person. They're suffering. Like, does there no?
Deserve it.
It's like they have to really deserve. Kind of like, yeah. Have you seen Dexter?
Of course.
So it's like, yeah, it's my boy Dexter Morgan. It's like there's a code to it, and they have to truly deserve it. Do you remove the hex after a certain amount of time, or is it like?
No, it's just you just put it out into the universe. One of the guys that molested me,
Those two fuck faces.
But he's dead now.
You got him? Or my word, what about the other one?
The other one was remorseful, and he's living his life. And I think the one when I was little is no longer with us. But I don't generally pay him a whole lot of thought.
No, nor should you. Well, yes, I think anybody listening to this, myself, definitely stand on your good side. But all joking aside, Serena, I appreciate you so much for sharing as much intimate information as you have. Share me the doggos, the kitties, the digs, all that stuff, and just giving me and the listeners like just more of an insight on Renaissance fairs, the shenanigans, the fun that happens, and Yeah, I appreciate you very much for sharing as much as you have and for joining us on the tap today, damn it. And you're down to do it again, I hope?
Sure.
More shenanigans. Oh, very good. Best time ever.
You lose! Good day, sir!